and more likely every year. I love making statements that you can't possibly argue with.
Okay.
And now imagine being married to me. And now give a warm round of applause for Miss Sandra McCracken. Okay, so here's a song that I wrote when I was probably early 20s, and
I thought you were going to say 12.
I was 12 years old when I wrote this song. No, I'm not Jackson Brown. Did you guys know that Jackson Brown wrote These Days when he was like 16 years old or something? Seriously? Don't make me play it. I mean, it's just so, it's crazy. No, I was 20, I was 10 years older than that. And this isn't half the song that song is. But I've said it, again, irrefutable, I'm not Jackson Brown. No one can argue with it. So anyway, here's a song that I wrote. I went right out of high school into a band, and was in that band for 10 years. That was my kind of college experience. Apparently, the professional musician route is a 10-year plan, which no one mentioned to me. It took a long time to graduate from that particular school. It was great. Those are good years, but we were on the road a lot, and so I was writing a lot of songs, apparently, about the two things that were like the most fascinating and frustrating, infuriating, things I could not possibly understand, but obsessed with. Mostly were these two things I was writing songs about, and those were God and women. And the reason I know this is because after I left the band, 10 years ago or so, when I left the band, I had all these friends of mine call me up and ask me, concerned for me, for my career, wondering what was I going to now write songs about. I was getting married, and for those of you who are single, and I assume there must be some of you, because you've requested this song. It was seconded. Several of you asked for it, and it's a song about being single. And so I just assume there are some non-married. Let me be clear, some non-married people here. And if that's the case, let me impart to you this just tiny bit of wisdom. I have been over to the other side of the mountain, and I have come back to tell you that it is good. It's very good. But having said that, let me also say that essentially what you're doing is you're trading one set of complications for a new set of complications. And, right? And so I would just say this. Enjoy every season of your life, because they're all good. And don't be in a rush to get to the next one. They're all good. Every season of life is good. And so don't be in too big of a hurry. And so that's here's a song I wrote about almost both of those issues. We got wrapped up. Both of my two biggies got wrapped up in the one song. And I wrote this in Houston, Texas, sitting at an IHOP between the hours of 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning with my then best friend, a guy named Danny Baker, soccer player at the University of Kentucky. And he was actually in school doing something with his life, and I was traveling. And we were talking about what guys, in their early 20s and what have you, talk about at the IHOP between the hours of 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. We were talking about God and women, and how we'd screwed up every relationship we'd ever been in our lives. And yet how, God supposedly ordains whatsoever comes to pass. There are a lot of theological dots to connect between those two things. I'll have you know, it took us like 5 hours. So here's the song, condensed for your benefit. It's only a few minutes long.